Hello, folks. Welcome to the Hello World Podcasting with Magdalena. How is everybody doing? Listen, thanks for tuning in and welcome to my podcasting. For those who are new, I just wanted to welcome you and just let you know that my podcasting is about personal growth, mastering ourselves, and process trying to figure out who the heck we are and how to kind of navigate through this reality or the space called reality. And in the meantime, I kind of like to use actually astrology for the personal and the collective guidance as as a GPS. So if you're new to my podcasting, welcome. And I hope that maybe the little information what I share always can be beneficial. Or what you can do also, just go in the prior, podcastings or go into the archives and, maybe check something that could be, additional to this information. Because I'm trying to kind of keep my podcasting short. Because there's so much information, folks, outside that people are dragging for an hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, and it is becoming actually very much a time consuming. And a lot of our time, people are spending so much time, and a lot of the time also the information what they are really looking for is maybe somewhere hidden in the second hour or something. So anyway, what I learned with years doing a radio show and podcasting is that keep it simple, keep it informative, and you don't lose the interest of you listeners. So, okay, well, let's see what we are doing today and how is our planets, where they are standing. Today, we have a sun in the Scorpio, moon is in Aries, that's very nice. Mercury is, of course, a retrograde in Scorpio, Venus is in Sagittarius, Mars is in peaceful, harmonious Libra, maybe for another week or so before it goes into Scorpio, and then we will have a little rumbling between Mars and Uranus in Taurus. Jupiter is right now in Sagittarius, and it's moving next year into Capricorn, so that will end up to be interesting. Saturn is in Capricorn, Uranus is in Taurus, retrograde. We have quite a bit of retrograde planets, folks, right now. Neptune, the planet of illusions, is in Pisces, retrograde. Pluto, as our soul, freeing our soul guy, is in Capricorn. It will be there until 2024, so we still have a way to go. Chiron is retrograde in Aries. True North Node is retro in Cancer, and Lilith is retrograde in Pisces. So as I always say, I wanted to, ask the questions. So what does this all mean to us? Well, as I'm always preparing myself, what do I wanted to share with my listeners, it's always, a challenge, because right now in the last couple of years, we are just going through these turbulent times, and it will just intensify, especially next year. It will be a roller coaster up and down. And this is something that I do not constantly like to point out, but it is what it is, and sometimes it's maybe actually beneficial when we know, so we can prepare ourselves and not get surprised. Because if you're looking right now at the world stage, I was just kind of laughing today, but I was watching one of the videos. The politicians, how they're attacking each other, and one side is saying, "Oh my God, this guy is lying," and the other side is just like, "Jesus Christ, how much lies are you actually perpetrating and trying to kind of put underneath the carpet, and then now you're accusing somebody else is a liar? Seriously?" But this is actually, folks, what we are dealing right now with excuse me, with a Jupiter in Sagittarius. So, we are faced with this unbelievable right-wrong opposition and truth and lies. There's so many other aspects. You can see geoengineering, the weather change, the vaccination, the food. We are facing challenges from all aspects. And for many, it's very, very, very difficult. And it's also, how should I say it? People are losing actually faith. And it's very hard to keep up with ideas and positivity in these times of change. And my mantra is always that, I'm trying to encourage people is to recognize that, change is part of our life. And the older we are getting, and I hate to use that analogy, the more changes and more challenges we are seeing. When we are young, we are not bothered what's really going on. We are not interested to figure out the information. We are not interested to figure out the truth. We are not interested about the news, what's really going on, and so on and so on. But the older you get, it becomes, existential how we can, sustain our lives and our realities. I was actually just watching this week. I'm not quite sure will I be able to pull out the video. It was, excuse me, about there was a conference, I think, in Netherlands, economic conference, and they had this guy. Let me just see, maybe I will pull his name out. Okay, yes. Hold on. I think I wrote down on the paper. Matthias Wake. And he was interviewed by somebody, and they were talking about the zombification of Europe. Folks, it was a very interesting video or interview, and it was about about the economics and the economic collapse and what's really going on. And it's talking about, I was just kind of mentioning about the truth and lies, how much stuff is going on. And it's very difficult in these times when the structure is crumbling, because, we have right now Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn, and yes, this is crumbling the structure. And, if you see, the a lot of institutions, banks, and all the stuff, they are actually right now exposing each other. That's how intense it became, and it's very, very challenging, and it's very difficult on some level, to make long-lasting plans. So I think on some level we will maybe have to kind of adjust ourselves and recognize that, we may just have to learn how to live with a short-term, plans, and just go by by the day or in the short term, because I'm saying this right now for how long? We are in this process of reset. And none of us knows how it will look when we get to the other side. And right now, being in the Scorpio, it's beneficial for us in a sense that Scorpio is about the underworld, but also about our own deepest passion, desires, and there are so many hidden stuff that we are actually having inside ourselves that we didn't explore. And I was just listening to somebody a while ago, and she was talking about that we are facing actually a very interesting event on 11/11 that Mercury will pass actually between the sun and the earth. And what does that mean is that re-energizing or reconnecting our consciousness with our passion, because obviously this is a pretty rare event. It's happening a couple of times in a millennium, and actually not in a millennium, in every 100 years, just a couple of times. The next time we're supposed to have the same event or similar event, it is 2032. So yeah, and this is why I'm just looking forward to share with you too. Is that Scorpio is a very interesting dude, and for right now we have a lot of stuff going on in Scorpio. Hold on, we have the Sun, the Mercury, and soon it will end up to be the Mars is joining also things Scorpio. So there's a lot of transformation going on, and as I'm saying this for quite a bit right now, it's actually just kind of building and building, preparing us. It's almost look like the next step of the preparation and the next step to the preparation for 2020, folks. So it is always good to know, look like I say, what is to expect, so that we are not necessarily, surprised. And that's why I'm actually calling, astrology as a GPS. At least, if you are dealing with some kind of challenging time, so as the structure is falling apart, on some level, it's actually great to create our own or the new paradigm. So I decided actually to ask the question, the title for my podcasting today, I decided to be the question, are we actually capable to create a new paradigm? Okay. And the reason why I was asking is that because a lot of the time we are so buried with so much frustration and being upset and losing hope that we forget that this is somehow part of the journey, and we can always, stop what we are doing and reassess the situation. And I think this is where the Chiron in Aries is very helpful, I would say. The reason why, because it's like, okay, let's see where we were dealing with a painful situation. What is that, that we can, process or work through, so that, we can clean out the energy and be able to kind of go maybe in the new chapter, even in our brain. There are so many chambers. I was actually thinking about the Matrix, when the keymaker goes through this hallway with zillions of doors, and they are trying to find the right door. The same thing is actually with our brain. That yes, we are dealing with so much frustration, we are dealing with so much lies, we are dealing with so many things that is surfacing. But if we are maybe accessing a different aspect of our brain, we can actually find some possibilities here, and work on solutions. So, this is the stuff that we may have to learn how to juggle, a different aspect of ourselves. But you know what? We've been going through these changes right now for quite a bit, and I think we are kind of getting used to it. Do we like it or not? So, even though it's very tough, to say that, but yes, Scorpio is a very tough dude also, It's asking us, it's a fixed sign. And we just have to learn and to say, okay, I get it. It's painful. I don't like it. But you know what? Maybe something better will come on the other side. And we have to kind of learn to trust in that, instinct. Okay, guys, that would be it for today. Look, like I always say, There's always a challenge here, and we are always